Alright, so today I'm going to walk you through the post-drive survey. Right here you see this is what it looks like if you're taking the survey on a computer, and this is what it looks like if you're taking it on a phone. So each of these questions requires a valid answer, so it won't let you progress forward if you haven't answered the question correctly. So for participant ID, you will have to put in a number, and that number should be on the sticker that you're given for this study. So we'll go ahead and answer that. Then what is the date of the drive? Make sure you put in the correct date, the month, the day, and the year. So we'll just go ahead and put in a date, the 5th of May 2020. How many consecutive shifts have you worked? So enter 1 if this is your first consecutive shift. If you worked more than 1, then put the correct number all the way up to 7. And then how many total shifts have you worked this week? That's how many are in total during the week that you worked. So again, if this is your first shift, go ahead and put 1. And then put the date of your next shift. And this is to give us an idea of when you'll be working next, so we know what to look for. So I'll go ahead and say that the next day is when the next shift will begin. So go ahead and move on to the next question. And then this question will ask, how did you feel overall during your drive? So there are a few different answers, from extremely alert all the way to extremely sleepy, can't keep awake. Make sure you choose the one that is corresponding best to how you felt. So I'll go ahead and select sleepy, but no effort to keep awake. And now moving on to these questions. During your drive home, how many times did drowsiness cause you to brake harder than you usually do? So this question is asking, during the drive, when you were tired, were there any instances where you maybe pressed the brakes harder than normal? So I'll go ahead and put 2. Then during your drive home, how many times did drowsiness cause you to depart your lane? Again, this is asking because of sleepiness. Did you swerve a little bit, or did you leave your lane? I'll go ahead and put 2. And then asking next, during your drive home, how many times did you fall asleep behind the wheel while the vehicle was in motion? This is actually closing your eyes and falling asleep while moving, not at a stop sign or a stoplight. So I'll go ahead and put 0. And then during your drive home, how many times did you fall asleep behind the wheel while a vehicle was stopped? This can be at a stop sign or a stoplight. So I'll go ahead and put 1. Now moving on, the next question asks, did you use any of the following countermeasures to reduce drowsiness during your drive? So caffeine, this could be an energy drink or coffee. Napping, this could be pulling over to take a nap. Stopping, this could be just pulling over but not necessarily taking a nap. Cooling, this could be the AC or opening the windows. Music, turning on the radio, turning on Spotify, something on your phone to listen to music. Talking to someone, again, this can be a passenger or calling somebody. Snacking or eating, this is anything that you're eating but not necessarily drinking, because the next one asks drinking, and this is other than caffeinated drinks. So again, if you're drinking coffee or energy drinks, you would select the first one. Chewing gum, this is chewing gum, not necessarily snacking or eating. And then some sort of technology, maybe you have a detection device or something that helps you maintain attention on the road. And then if you have any other things that you might have used during the drive, go ahead and select this option and write it in the text box. And you can choose multiple, so I'll go ahead and select caffeine, music, and talking to someone. And then the last question on this page asks, what percentage of time during your drive did you feel drowsy? So on a scale of 0 to 100, during that drive, how much of that drive did you feel drowsy? If it was about half the drive, you'd put 50%, but I'm going to go ahead and put about 20. We'll go ahead and move to the next part of this survey. So now this section will ask some questions about your sleep. So in the past 24 hours, how many hours did you attempt to sleep? So this is not actually sleeping, just how many hours did you try to sleep? So if you tried to take 2 naps and then tried to sleep during the day before the shift, maybe those 2 naps you were in bed for 2 hours each, and then 3 hours before the shift. So you put 2 plus 2 plus 3, that's going to be 7, so 7 hours. But then the next question is asking how many hours of sleep did you actually get. If you felt like you maybe only got half of the amount of time you were in bed, we can go ahead and put 3.5 hours. And then in the past 24 hours, how many separate times did you attempt to get sleep? So again, I mentioned I tried to take 2 naps and tried to sleep once before the night shift, so that would be 3 times. And then each of those times, or just in general, how easy was it to fall asleep? I'll go ahead and put with difficulty. And then how many times did you wake up during your sleep? Go ahead and try and put what you believe is the most accurate amount. So I'll go ahead and put 4. And then this next question, how rested were you when you woke up? 0 being not at all, to 10 being rested, and I'll go ahead and put a 5. And now here you can add any additional factors that affected the quality of your sleep. I'll go ahead and write kids, noise, light, and hunger. So each of those factors, and there are plenty out there, so go ahead and put whatever you think might have affected the quality of your sleep. And then we'll move on to the next section. And that's all for the survey. So hopefully you understand each of these questions and are able to complete it fairly well and reasonably. As you can see, it's pretty short, but if you have any questions about the survey, don't hesitate to reach out to the study team so that they can help you with any of these questions. Thank you.